So, welcome everybody. Glad to have you here. And today we're doing AI for work basics to breakthroughs. Our topic is from meh to magnetic, make your pages convert. And so we're going to be talking about how you can analyze certain pages on your website or somebody else's website and get some ideas of what's good and some ideas of what may need to be improved. So, our unhappy to happy, and I always have fun going out and picking out the graphics that we're going to use. I get to go out and look through a few hundred pictures and find something that I think is applicable to whatever we're talking about on that day. So, of course, our typical resources, I don't know if you've been here before or not, but if you haven't and you need a chat GPT, you can go to chat.openai.com and just go out and type a little message, hi, glad to meet you, and then you can enter or click the send button to see what happens. And the free version is out there for you, but it does have a few limitations. And you're going to get copies of these slides. So if later you want to go out and look at some more information in the background about the free version, you can do that. Also, we're going to provide these slides to you, and in order to get those slides, you can download a file from the chat window in Zoom, and either Laura or Rachel has put a copy of today's slides in the chat window. So that's what you want to look for is down on the bottom of your screen. You should see something that says chat, and that will open up a column on the right-hand side, and you should be able to see those slides in there. And you can go ahead and look for the little blue download button, and then you can download that to your computer, and or after you've done that, you can actually click on it to open it up. And everything inside the slides should be clickable. If it looks like a link, it probably is. And why we're getting together, I like to use our superheroes because we are a hero to many of the people that we help out. I don't know if you remember when you first started getting into some software things and you just kept running up against a wall. And I know for me, as I've worked with clients, they'll go, QuickBooks just doesn't do such and such. And I go, oh, just give me a second. And I would show them how to do it. And they go, well, that was easy. I'm going, yeah, it's easy when you know what to do, but you can spend a lot of time wandering around trying to get answers. Now, the thing is with AI, we don't have to wander as far. We can go out and just ask ChatGPT, and quite often it's going to give you an answer pretty quickly and usually fairly accurately, not 100%, but in many cases is going to get you really close to where you need to go. And so the whole idea is for those of us who are sticking our fingers into AI, we're going to be further ahead in the long run than people that aren't even playing with it or trying it, or maybe they're only just trying it on a very light level. So, overall, from a financial perspective, you know what, with ChatGPT, we find that we each want to work faster, smarter, more enjoyably and more efficiently in our day-to-day work. And we have found that to be the case in our company. We each become more valuable in our role. And so for our teams, we've adopted this across the organization, and we want all of us to be more effective. And of course, we can provide services or products in more elegant ways, and we can earn more. For our clients, we'd like them to be able to work faster, smarter, and more productively. And if we help them or teach them how, we can become their heroes or heroines, as the case may be. If they're still resistant, you can just go out and use AI and help them in the background. And, you don't have to tell them it was AI. You can just look brilliant, come up with the right answers for them, and help them out. So today, of course, as always, we are recording, and recordings will be available in 5 to 7 business days, sometimes a little bit longer. Laura does always a great job on getting things edited on a timely basis. Sometimes I end up being the person who doesn't get those sent out right away, but sooner or later you will get them. And if you need the link to that page, you can contact us, maybe either Rachel or Laura, in the Zoom chat can put a link to that page as well, and you can go ahead and open it up and go back and access those recordings. We do close the doors about 10 minutes after the beginning of the workshop because once we start sharing prompts, we don't want to have to re-explain things when somebody comes in at a quarter after or at 20 after. For those of you who show up on time, then you get the benefit of not being interrupted by other people coming in late. And of course, be careful about confidential information that you put in ChatGPT or share with other people here in the group. And also, if you can work on something that you're really working on, that makes a difference rather than just trying to come up with something hypothetical. Again, be careful about the confidentiality, but work on your work and you're going to find that you'll get something out of it. So I'm not sure if we're going to have breakout sessions today. Rachel, can you tell us if you think we will?
I think it would be good for the amount of people we have. Breakout sessions would be a good thing.
In those breakout sessions, you're going to see a timer on your screen showing how long is left in that breakout session. And then there will be a short delay before you rejoin the main Zoom meeting if you haven't done this before. What happens is when we close the breakout session, you go out into Never Never Land and don't be too worried. We haven't booted you out of the Zoom meeting. It just takes a moment or two to get that link reestablished and you'll join the main session again. And those breakout sessions are not recorded. That's something to keep in mind. You may want to take your own notes as you go through that. I do like to share my story. I got involved in AI probably a year and a half ago, and I got hooked. The concept of AI first, or I'm hearing some other folks in podcasts talking about AI forward, which is a nice way to put it. I think it's how you use AI to move forward and not necessarily ahead and beyond people. Okay, I should change that on my slide to AI forward. I like that term a little bit better. And the thing is, behind my why, I worked for many years helping people get their numbers set up in their accounting systems. And you know what? Unfortunately, many people, even once their accounting systems got set up, they weren't watching their numbers and they weren't using them to become more profitable. And with AI, I could help them find some different ways to increase the values of their companies and what they were doing and interpret what they were seeing in so many different ways that profit can be enhanced by using ChatGPT or another one of the AI programs. And then I ultimately joined the Simple AI Consultants Group. And in there, we have something like 120 some AI focused consultants where we share AI training and creative applications. And we do have some fantastic training options, free and paid. And I keep promising, and I have the link here somewhere while you guys are working on things. I think I can go out and find the link, but I can put you into a free program and you should go out and take advantage of what's there. Once you're in, you'll be able to see some of the other paid options, but no obligation. You can just go take advantage of the free option, and I'll get that link out there for you today. Through Simple, I learned that you can use it for every role within every organization, regardless of whether somebody's the receptionist, the CFO, the head of sales, the company owner. Every one of those roles can learn how to apply AI to their particular position. So I like to ask on the front end, just if somebody's willing to volunteer. Now, Michael's been very forthcoming and has helped us out. So let's see if we can get somebody else to say how they're using AI. And of course, if nobody will volunteer, I'll call on Michael again. But anybody else want to share?
Go ahead, Lisa and Dr. Nat. Go ahead and unmute yourself and then step in and let us know. And then we'll have folks come in one after the other. Go ahead, Dr. Nat.
Okay, hello. Thank you guys. It's my first time here. I'm so excited. This is a resource I've been looking for, hunting for, praying for. So I'm very new in the AI kind of endeavors and trainings and all of the above, but I'll tell you, I dove in feet first. I've been embracing ChatGPT to its fullest. I am a trained clinical psychologist and I do personal and professional growth and development, really my area of expertise is building confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, all of the selves, the true collective sense of self. That's really my bread and butter and what I'm super passionate about. So all of that to say, I've been leaning heavy into ChatGPT. I also, and I would love any feedback you guys have on this, I have a bot builders account. I just bot builders. I was really excited about that for lead generation and for utilizing it for essentially like a virtual assistant kind of thing, and hopefully responding to some emails and easy messages. And also, please, dear God, to Facebook messages and Instagram, because those are so monotonous and they're such a time suck. So anyway, those are my grand goals, and that's where I'm at present.
No, that sounds great. And you know what? If you would like to reach out to me through my Calendly link, I'd be happy to set up a half hour and we can chat about the program
Thank
that
you.
you're
I've already
talking
got your
about.
link up. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. All right.
Thanks, Dr. Nat. And Lisa,
Yeah.
go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. So I'm fairly new to AI as well. I've used it for small things. I think I mentioned last week that up until last week, I mostly just used it for rewording emails and letter templates to make it sound more positive and encouraging, because I tend to be straight to the point and abrasive. But I did explore some options last week. We were tasked in our managers meeting to revise our department plans to be more cohesive into the company plan and to bring back ideas on that. So I just threw it in there and said I needed a strategic partner AI agent, and it walked me through all of these little steps. It gave me a plan. It created an Excel workbook. It showed me how to measure the plan. So it was very enlightening to see that last week when I saw those prompts and I didn't really understand everything to do with that prompt, and I was breaking it down into little pieces, that it actually does that just like you said it would. So it, instead of me giving it a bunch of prompts, I treated it just as if I was talking to an assistant. I said, okay, this is too much. I don't understand this. How can we reword this so that it makes more sense to me? How can I produce this out to my members? Give me some suggestions. So it was able to take the information that I had and make it understandable and in smaller pieces that I could digest while I was working through my research. And I ended up coming up with a simplified vision mission statement. So we're working on that. And then it also allowed us to come up with a really simple tagline for our vision mission, should that be what is approved. So that was really cool.
Ooh, Lisa, you gave me
Fantastic.
goosebumps.
You go, girl.
It's-
That's how it's meant to be used. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you both for sharing. And everybody is going to start having more endorsements and testimonials about how they're using AI. And I really appreciate your sharing. And I've asked, I'm not sure if Shai can let you know whether she has reached out to anybody yet, but if she hasn't, look for a request for maybe a couple of sentences about how you're using AI and or how maybe you like these classes. We would appreciate that because we can get more people in and start applying this. So our flow for today's workshop is to download and save this PDF slide deck. You should have already done that. And download and copy today's prompt into your AI. Now, we're going to give you some special instructions today because today's setup in the prompt is a little different than what we've done before. So don't get too carried away yet. Just wait and we'll walk you through what we're going to do. So our objective today is to ask AI to help you focus on some different web pages, pros and cons, and we're going to let you pick and choose. I gave you 4 options, and one would be go look at a single homepage, assuming you have a website of your own. Go look at a single homepage, or maybe you want to give it 2 different homepages to go look at and compare and contrast. Or maybe you have a sales page, some product that you're selling or a service that you're selling. Or you can ask it to look at 2 different sales pages to compare. ChatGPT will then guide you through the good aspects and potential improvements. And so again, before you do anything, just start thinking about what web pages you might want, page or pages you might want to look at. So I'm going to show you the prompt.
And for everybody in the meeting, I did add the flat text file, the prompt that we're going to be using for today. So if you'll download that and open it, you'll be able to see the contents that
But
Diane
don't
is
put it
showing
in
you.
ChatGPT yet, because
Not
you're
yet.
going to have 4 choices in here. So the first option is, this is for a single website page, and it's the homepage content. So if you wanted to do this particular thing, you would copy and paste just this section up to the dotted lines. And all you would have to do is copy and paste just this section. So you do here and do control copy, and then you go paste it in. And what you would do then is once you get it into your AI, you'd paste the URL for your website. Okay, now maybe instead you would like to compare 2 website homepages. Maybe there's a competitor, or maybe you don't even have a website yet, but you'd like to start thinking about it. You could go out and look at a couple of websites that you like and paste the URLs for those in there. And in each case, we're saying, please do the following, compare and contrast their overall messaging, and you can read if that's what you want to do. Now, you might have a single sales page, and you could have it do the analysis of that. So that's your third option. And you can read about how it's going to review that page. And option 4 is maybe you want to compare 2 different sales pages. If you'd like for me to do one of those, I can show you. Let's just do the first one. And this is a single website analysis. I'm just going to pick up this one. And I'm going to do Control C, which is the shortcut for copy. And then I'm going to go over into my ChatGPT. And I'm just going to put this in here, and I'm going to paste it. And now that I have it in here, I'm going to put the homepage URL for our Build Your Numbers website. I'm going to put in https://buildyournumbers.com. Now, I have to tell you, before we do this and see what comes out, I have paid several different consultants some very large dollars, and Laura's nodding because she's our COO, she knows, to help refine our homepage. So let's just see what ChatGPT has to say.
And while ChatGPT is thinking, so the goal today is, of course, to give you an idea of some of the different things that you can use or do. It's not to say you have to go through all 4 options while you're in your what we call our library time. And a lot of times Diane will provide a prompt where all you have to do is copy and paste it and not change anything. So the only thing that she did here was be sure that you provide your URL for it. And once you've downloaded that prompt file, it's yours to keep, reuse, tweak, modify, do whatever you want. The whole point here is we want to have you get familiar with ChatGPT or any other AI, any other GPT, just to try it out and see what happens.
Okay, so here's what happened. It reviewed the homepage. And of course, ChatGPT is always very nice about telling you positive things first. And then it says, okay, so here's clarity of messaging, and, so here are things that it likes: tone and professionalism, first impression for new visitors, effectiveness of the call to action, and then potential areas of confusion or distraction. It's telling me, oh, you got a problem or two. And it says navigation overload. The extensive menu and numerous links might confuse users. Simplifying navigation and grouping related resources can aid user experience. Content density, dense text blocks can deter readers. Breaking content into digestible sections with clear headings can improve readability. And then here are recommendations for enhancements. It came up with some things that we could likely do and sit down and work on. And so it says by implementing these suggestions, you can create a more intuitive and engaging experience for your visitors, encouraging deeper interaction with your offerings. And now, do I want assistance in drafting a revised homepage layout or specific content sections? So it says 2 hours saved, but you know what? We've spent many hours on that homepage. And as I said, we've had other consultants help us and spent many thousands of dollars, let me put it that way, to come up with a good homepage. And so here we've got some superior intelligence at work for us. So we're going to start our timer and give you guys about 12 minutes to work on this on your own, and then we'll split out into our groups.
Yeah. And once you get that
Okay.
initial output, feel free to say, hey, I don't understand this. Give me more feedback on that. I'd like to see some examples, etc. So this is just the initial output from that prompt. So poke it and prod it and say, give me more, give me more. All right.
So I'm going to start the timer.
And so everything will go quiet for the next
Mhm.
12 minutes, and then we'll have you go into your breakout rooms.
And I'm going to turn off my camera and mute myself. Okay, we're down to the last few seconds. And there goes our timer. So I'm going to turn this over to Rachel now to get everybody into the breakout rooms. If you haven't done that before, she'll assign you to a room and you can accept. So then maybe designate one person in your group to take a few notes so that we can all share together afterwards. I'm going to put something up on the screen too to be conversation starters when you guys get together and share with each other what you're finding.
So it'll be just a moment while Rachel is configuring the groups, and then you should see a prompt shortly to join.
Rachel, you can let me know once everybody's rejoined.
I think we have everybody. Yes.
I'm going to mention one thing. If you guys will check the Zoom chat, I did put the link for the free training from Simple. It's like $4,000 worth of training. So go out, take a look at it, and see what you think. So it's some pretty cool stuff that they've got out there.
Can you tell us what Simple is?
Simple is a group that I joined. If you recall at the very beginning, I talked about how I joined this set of consultants, about 120 consultants out there. It's headed up by a fellow by the name of Steve Cunningham, who used to run a company called Read It For Me. He read a book a day for 10 years and would do book summaries. And he has become quite the leader in training of different ways to use AI and how to apply AI to roles within your organization and business training.
Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, I've been a member now for probably a year and 3 or 4 months, something like that. I always learn so much from watching Steve's presentations. He's brilliant. We're running a little bit short on time here. How many different groups do we have, Rachel? 3 groups. Okay. Could I have one person from each group self-volunteer to share what got shared within your group and just take a minute? Just be real brief and share.
Go ahead, Lori.
Lori will go. I had Vin and Kristen in with me, and Kristen was very new user to AI and to ChatGPT, and we talked through some of the items that were coming up under her using this particular prompt. Ven was sharing with us, he's a pretty advanced user of ChatGPT, Ven. You do a good job out there. He was sharing with us visually as well that there's a little glitchy thing going on with his GPT not showing the answer on the screen. He was having to copy and paste it into a separate Word document in order for the responses to show up. So that was something we'd not seen before, and we spent a couple of minutes talking about that as well. So that's our update. Next group.
Okay, thanks, Lori.
I can share.
That would be great. Lisa?
Okay, so I was in a group with Robin and Michael. And Robin, this is her first session, her first time using it. So we discussed what she thought about the very first prompt. and how we thought that ChatGPT is going to help utilize us in the businesses. So we went down a rabbit hole of what area we're in, what we're focusing on, how we've used it so far. For me personally, what was surprising is that I used Copilot, not ChatGPT, because that's the one that I have that's encrypted. And Copilot, lo and behold, does not analyze URLs. So I had to actually go and open up a ChatGPT to be able to do the assignment. And then we got on the subject of, okay, if it's the free one and I'm not signed into the free one, does it save the prompts? So like when you're signed in, it will save on the paid subscription. We don't know if it saves on the free subscription, but Michael was able to recommend that we do a copy paste of word so that way we have it regardless. So that's what we discussed.
It's a great idea. And no, the free one does not save the results from your prompt. So that's a great strategy to copy and paste it into a different formatted document.
Okay, next. One more group to go.
They're going to make me do this. I don't want to do this. So I was with Dr. Nat and Shay, and this is new to me as well. And Dr. Nat said she's new to this as well. And we were both surprised at how detailed it was. It patted us on the back to start with, and then showed us all these things that we really weren't aware of that we now know. And basically, I'm in the stage of I don't know what I don't know. And she was much better. She even asked it a follow-up question on some things, and it gave her some recommendations on. She asked it about doing a new landing page, and she was able to come up with some additional information. We're at different places in our journey here going through, but yeah, it's really fascinating to me how much we learned just in that just doing that one thing. It was amazing.
Terrific. Thank you so much. And thank you for being willing to try some new things and venture out there. And the more you use it, the more you'll have fun using it, and just keep thinking about what if I try this? What if I try that? So thanks so much for doing the takeaways. We kind of had virtual coffee together, or cocoa, whatever floats your boat. This slide, you can take some time after the fact maybe and look through. These are some of the products I've developed over the years, working with different companies and doing job costing and month-end closings and so on. All these links work if you'd like to go look at some of the things we have and that I've developed over my last 30 years of working directly with business owners. In our AI tips, one of the things it initially told me in the prompt, because I asked ChatGPT to help me develop the prompt, and they talked about, okay, it's going to check on the UX. And I go, what the heck is UX? You know, another acronym. I'm just overwhelmed with all the different acronyms we run into. And so they told me it stands for user experience. It refers to how a person feels when interacting with a website or a digital product. And I know we all have feelings about interacting with different kinds of software or different pages that we run into. So I ended up copying and pasting this from ChatGPT, and I thought it was really a nice overview, even though this isn't really an AI tip, is still related to what we were doing today. And yeah, so that's good. So hopefully you'll find some value from that. And just looking ahead, this Friday on the 6th, and I do apologize on the reminder today. I put the 6th rather than the 3rd, but I think most of you figured out that the reminder was for today, the 3rd. But this coming Friday on the 6th, we're going to be looking at, this sounds kind of dull, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting. The Essential HR Handbook, 10th Anniversary Edition, a quick and handy resource for any manager or HR professional. This is called the Essential Handbook. And since 2008, people have been using this. So you guys can go ahead and read about that. And then 2 weeks from today, on June 17th, Michael is going to come in and help us understand more about how we can look at the financial aspects. Michael, you want to wave or unmute and tell us a little bit about what you're going to share with us?
I'm going to share with the help of Craig's landscaping, show you how ChatGPT can do some analysis and verifying some numbers.
And Craig's landscaping is the default company file that sits inside QuickBooks.
It doesn't have as much information in it as I thought it did. So it's kind of weenie, but I don't want to give out any other information. You get
Diane?
you get
I'm
the
sorry.
idea. You get the idea.
Great. Okay, go ahead, Laura.
Yes, a quick tip for our new users, if you want to get some eye-opening experience in your chat GPT or whatever prompt you put in, if you put a prompt in that says include how much time you saved me when you generated this information for me compared to me having to go out and get it myself, something shorter than that, obviously, you will have some eye-opening information coming back at you just to find out, oh, it saved me this much time doing this, it saved me this much time doing that. And it's not like you have to accumulate it, but if you wanted to, it could really give you some great information. So
You can
that's my tip.
also, to do that, you could also go up to your picture and go to hit that, click on that, and go down to customize ChatGPT, and in your settings, include that. And then you don't have to include it in every prompt. It'll just automatically do it. That's what I have done.
Yep. We just last time worked on our 12-week plan. So hopefully you've been working on that and upgrading it. And an idea to try before your next workshop is go out and continue to review some websites and different pages and sales pages and so on, and use this between now and the next time we meet. I'll plan to see you on Friday and or 2 weeks from today. So thanks everybody for being here today and sharing what you've learned, and we'll see you again soon.
Can I add something? So
Sure.
I just put in I just put in the chat the sentence, ask me any questions you have. So after you put your prompt, any prompt, you can add this line and ChatGPT will direct you if they need more help.
Good
Brilliant.
idea.
I j-
And Dr. Nat, I just responded to your question about a prompt that will help to generate leads. I actually used the ideal business path and the work quarterly business planning to expand on how to get more leads, how to sell to more customers, things like that. And the book to biz that we did a couple weeks ago, Diane, exactly what to say, handling sales objections ties in with that as well. So if you take a
So
look at
that
some of the
that
old chats,
ideal business link, go there and I'll be able to see
yeah,
how
you
to do
should
it.
be able to.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. It's been
Yeah.
this has been
Just
amazing.
keep asking the questions of chat. Just keep digging in deeper and re-asking the question. Again, think of it like a personal assistant. If you want to find something out, just keep asking the question till the personal assistant gets it.
So cool. Amazing.
Okay,
Thank you,
I think for
everybody.
the first time we've gone over by 5 minutes. So
Oh,
thanks
sorry about that,
everybody
guys.
hanging in there, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.